Hey guys, welcome Mufc Realist TV. We are breaking the lineup. Jay, how are you doing today, mate? I don't know. I have very poor internet,
Mick,
but take it away. Just
it's okay, my friend. It's okay. It happens. I'm great today. First cup final since 2017. What a day!
What a
I think
day.
the last cup that Newcastle won was some Tesco Mickey Mouse tournament back in the 70s. Before that, it was the old Fairs Cup in the 60s. So I just saw the attempts there online and Newcastle fans trying to climb into the fountain Trafalgar Square. So if their fans are as buoyant today as they were in Trafalgar Square, I think they definitely had their backing. But look, a lot of pundits are saying United's title to win. Now they're going to win. But if you just look today, that Clarius, their goalkeeper, finds his inner Buffon and all of a sudden has the game of his life. What's the odds on that, Mick?
Yeah, I did a little bit of a late podcast about it yesterday, about 15 minutes, and said back to Scarius, not the dental thing, but mental. God, this is his what the two was it with Liverpool, 2 Champions League in a row when he actually messed up and he disappeared from the face of the earth. So yeah, I don't know. It's like to line up again in another final. Poor guy, I would say. But listen. Yeah, in a way, they haven't won a trophy for 60 years, so this just like taking off the chest of the belt from a non, what I mean, cobweb. But we need that trophy. I mean, we deserve this trophy. And what I said yesterday was, we are the hunter and they are the lions, and the zebra never changes the stripes, right? So it's to be hunted or be hunted, in a way. So they were probably parked the bus, and we were probably hunting, but. I don't know. I just got a weird feeling it will go to penalties, and I don't want that, Jay. Seriously, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Yeah, because as you know, pennies are a lottery, and our last penny shooter against Villarreal, I think it went to, was it the 21st penalty?
Yeah.
And as you know, David De Gea, we love David De Gea. I've got a record saying many times, he's my keeper. Love the guy, but let's be fair, he's not the keeper you want in a penny shootout. Look, look. We have enough class around the pitch in oppositions to win that in real time. But I go back to my previous statement. Clarius could enact his Gigi Buffon settings, but if he enacts normal Clarius settings, we win 3-0. There's a phrase for American football, and it's anything can happen on any given Sunday. It's a cup final, and
it's any given
Newcastle
Sunday.
Squad
True.
haven't not gone to lose. They've gone all the way to cup final to win. Who would have thought last season that they would be in top 4 now and the cup final? So you got to give Graham Potter massive credit and those players massive respect. I know the last couple of weeks that their form has turned, but I think in a cup final for me, the form book is out the window. This is anybody's cup final today.
Yeah, it is. It is in a way. I mean, they're not in the top 4 currently. Last time I checked, Tottenham was beating Spurs with 1-0, right? So.
Okay,
Chelsea
you
in the
do
mud.
for me, okay.
Anyway, I'm just saying. So currently, the Tottenham Spurs is in the top 4. Newcastle's on 5th. But let's look at the lineup, mate. Let me bring that up. So basically, it just came out today as what we would discuss. Shaw, Martinez, Varane, Daly. We have the Bermuda Triangle, as what you said. The Manchester Bermuda Triangle. De Gea, our keeper. Any given Sunday. But what surprised me is Dalot, right? Because I thought Wan-Bissaka would start instead of Dalot, and Dalot come in the second half as the weapon of choice. Any comments on that back 4?
I think that Dalot is coming on because he's going to offer more going forward, and he's going to put a lot more pressure on Newcastle fullback Wan-Bissaka could. Like Wan-Bissaka is great going from his own touchline to the halfway line, but it's like once he goes past the halfway line, he tends to get a bit of a nosebleed. So I think that's why Dalot's there. If you're playing Weghorst, what is he? 6'5", 6'6". So far, we haven't provided that man with very little ammunition in the box. Now, a lot of the pundits have said, but if Weghorst doesn't win headers in the box, I find that whimsical. We have a striker who should be dominant in the box. He's not. So maybe today, I think Dalot is going to be told, get forward with Shaw and pump cross into the box. That's what I would do personally.
Yeah, but 100%. I mean, I call him Veggie Horse. So I don't know. It kind of stuck with me. But I mean, if you look at Newcastle, they have a very bit, a little bit of a height. They have Sven Botman and all that jazz. It's not a bad shout. I mean, Weghorst has actually been more than just a body, right, for Manchester United. I mean, not as a number 9, but actually link up the play, and he's pressing a lot. He's running a lot, actually, to be honest. So I was a little bit surprised to see, like, because I said yesterday, Fred, Casemiro, Fernandes, yeah, that is the one that we played at Barcelona on Thursday with the scintillating 2-1 win. But I was kind of expecting, Jay, that we will see Sabitzer instead of Fred. Maybe Fred was a little bit leggy from chasing De Jong after 95 minutes. But you're happy with that triangle 3?
Look, I give Fred staunch criticism in the pre-match on Thursday night, saying Fred, maybe don't shoot. And I was made eat my words when Fred at halftime summoned his inner Pele. Like that finished, I didn't think he had it in his locker. So, if you're the manager and you have a player that is going to cover every blade of grass, he's got a big engine. Yeah, he did fall towards the end, but he's going to play with his heart and sleep for 90 minutes. He's not going to leave anything on the pitch. You cannot drop him. If you drop him for a cup final, that ruins his confidence. You can't drop him. I never thought I would say you can't drop Fred, when normally himself and his co-conspirator Scott McTominay are the first people I dropped for Sabitzer. But it's like on paper you see a name Sabitzer, you see Fred, think, oh yeah, you pick Sabitzer. But last 3 games, Fred's done what we asked him to do. Some games
100%.
you're tearing your hair out. So after Thursday night, Fred is going to be playing with a lot of confidence. And whilst today, he scores again. It's written in the stars.
Shimpad Fred, I mean, Pastor Fred, as I called him, like he's legit Brazilian passport. I checked it the other day, yeah. But out of considering we had the McFred viewership on the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, 2 seasons in a row, or was it 3 seasons in a row? We had that donut hole. Out of those 2, Fred has been the most improved out of Erik ten Hag, according to my opinion, right? But Casemiro, we don't even have to talk about Casemiro. He's part of that Bermuda-Manchester triangle that you rightfully claimed it is your copyright to say as well, the Manchester triangle. I mean, God, how good is Casemiro, and how good would it be for him to lift the trophy today? Those 3 together with Fernandes, right? They've been working their socks off, for the whole entire season. So, yeah, they're winners. If you look at Varane, Champions League, Royce Varane, he's won a lot. He won a lot, right? Bruno, no, he hasn't won a lot, but I'm confident. So let's move forward. What about Bruno Fernandes as a central number 10? That is his natural good position. Or do you see he will interchange with Rashford?
Yeah, we saw there on Thursday night, Bruno out in the wing in the first half. Didn't work with Sanchez playing 10. So Ten Hag, unlike previous managers, they're very stubborn and they stay with their convictions. Ten Hag will micromanage players. He will change at halftime. He will change when changes made.
Yeah.
So that I'd love to see it. Bruno back in his natural spot, and he's got Casemiro behind him, mopping up any balls. And then, of course, I think the big thing for me with Bruno, the Hollywood balls that he was allowed to play on Solskjaer are gone. Now Fernandes is acting like a cog in a wheel. And second thing I would say, Bruno was almost lauded for his tenacity and his pressing ability. But under Solskjaer, he ran around like a headless chicken. There was no structure to his runs. And a lot of energy was wasted. Flip side now, on Ten Hag, he's pressing, he's been shown how to actually press. So it goes back to key word, coaching. And so Bruno, before Ten Hag came along, clearly was not coached. He was let go on the pitch and do whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
And we had a private conversation previous to this. In that lockdown season, he was getting goals and assists for fun. He was getting penalties for fun because the VAR system had just been, enacted. So nobody really knew what a handball was, what a foul was. So his stats were amazing.
Nothing.
Therefore, Solskjaer literally lacking a pair of balls was not going to tell Bruno, listen, Bruno, stop with the Hollywood balls. He was letting Bruno literally freestyle. But now I'll go back to
it was
point.
freestyle.
Ten Hag now makes Bruno play as a cog in the wheel, and it actually works. It works so well that Rashford is now in the form of his life.
100%. So Anthony Dos Santos, I mean, rivals are just waiting to call him a flop, you know, but they're not going to get it. They're not going to get it. He's still 21. He's still young. I think he scored 6 or 7 goals in all competitions right now. Of course, he's been out a little bit injury, but that goal, the 2-1 winner, that was a smashing goal, right, with his left foot. I mean, this guy is, for me, he's integral, right? Because maybe he doesn't have a good game, but he's so good on tracking back as well, like not just going forward. But I wanted to see him more taking on his players, like challenging on the wing, like, you know, drag them to the byline and just put the cross in. He's got a good cross, though. I feel Anthony will score today for some reason. Like, he's just like, you know, oh, I love him. In a way. Rashford, do we have to speak of Rashford? Do you think Rashford will be the match winner today?
I actually don't care today who the match winner is, as long as you win. But obviously, the bookies have Rashford very short odds to score today. So on form, yeah, you are looking at Rashford.
Yeah.
It's great call there from Philip Jones. Big pitch Wembley, Daly better on ball, lots of space. Excellent point. Wembley is a massive point. Big up Phil Jones, great point.
Phil, are you on the bench? Or Phil Jones is the Phil Jones. Let's go to the comments with Rory. What's Rory saying? Good to see you, Jay. Can't wait for your honest analysis. You will see Jay in the honest analysis later on after the party, right? The after party, right? You know, it's not going to be a draw. It's going to be either winner or loser. It's going to be winner, chicken dinner. But Jay and I will be on and thick and thin, and we will give you the honest analysis. Big up, Rory. Let's go to a super chat from Rahul Chopra, who's saying, "Hi Jay, can you please finally reveal why you left? I'm not going to mention this channel. A lot of you fans have that questions. It's up to you, Jay."
I'll sum it up in 2 words, Rule. Thanks for super chat, my friend. Creative differences. Make it that what you will.
Yes. Freedom of speech, isn't it also?
Creative differences, and we'll leave it there.
Yeah, we say it like this. We leave it for another. I mean, thank you for the super chat, but we, you know, if we can DM Rahul Chopra, you know, and probably have a conversation about it. This is something that we're not going to talk
Rule,
about.
DM me anytime, mate. You're more than welcome. Anytime.
100%. But thank you for contribution. Thank you for coming on this channel. I mean, you're going to see. You're gonna see Jay here quite frequent as well. I mean, he's part of now the starting 11 in Mufc Realist TV, which is
Mickey
by FM for the
fans.
fans. Yeah.
I have a question for you. This is my super chat today. How would you feel today?
Super chat me.
If you see Captain Calamity Maguire, the former partnership of the Busted Sofa, lift the Carabaou Cup, how would that make you feel, Mickey, as a fan?
Did you ask me the question?
Oh yeah, that was my super chat to you, Mickey. That was my super chat.
Honest to God speaking, I mean, I spoke to you about this before, right? You know, this is not Discovery Channel. Like, you know, if you watch Discovery Channel, you will see, you know, where the elephant in the room, right? The elephant hasn't been part of this squad, and everyone knows that the captain, the real captain, the king of this club is Bruno Fernandes, right? Of course, maybe it's part of his contract that he has to lift, but I don't think he deserves to lift that trophy, to say that I'm the club captain, because you haven't really been involved, mate, you know. I'd have nothing against, I don't slag the players, but when he came out with this tweet, like many times before, like, read the room, right? You don't read the room. You just go out and they don't call you slab head for a reason. I mean, obviously you're full of ego. I don't know. That's my honest opinion. You touched a nerve, Jay, because at the end of the day, the real captain that we have been carrying this team this year has been Bruno Fernandes. That's my honest opinion. So at the end of the day, if it's a trophy, whoever lifts it, I don't care. It's a trophy, mate. You know, to be honest. But personally, if Harry comes and steals the show, that doesn't gel well with me. Sorry. You? Back to you, Bob.
I think I'm going to say point blank, I was the first person in the fan base 4 years ago to call out Maguire before he was even signed for the club. Okay, English media jumped on a bandwagon. Oh, Harry Maguire, best up-and-coming defender in Europe. Absolute bullshit. It was English propaganda by the English media putting forward one of their own. For me, he's done nothing to warrant captain. Roy Keane was almost the manager on the pitch. Okay, so that manifested Ferguson on the pitch. Well, Maguire manifested Solskjaer on the pitch. Weak, indecisive, non-communicative, non-combative. Didn't have the wherewithal to go and argue with a referee when it was necessary. Didn't have the wherewithal to go and argue with a player when necessary. So for me, he's not a leader, he's not a captain. That's point blank. If anybody sees my tweets today, he came out with a tweet. He came out with a statement for the game saying, telling he tell the boys that go out and play with a smile on your face. It's a fucking cup final. You go out and play to win. You smile when the game is over, my friend. So for me, I'll sum it up. If he lifts that trophy, he's nothing more than a John Terry full-kit wanker. When John Terry lifted the Champions League Cup back in 2012, if memory serves, he got booked in the semi-final for a red card on Sanchez, if memory serves, and then wore a suit to the final, then got changed to full kit, did all the interviews, and lifted the trophy. So for me today, if Maguire does that, as United fans, we call it John Terry. So Maguire does that today. For me, he becomes a full-kit wanker. And you can quote me that if you want.
Hey there. Got to love watching Jay back on YouTube where he belongs. And yes, I love those uppercuts, Jay, this realistic uppercuts. But even better, Jay, even better. Like, you imagine watching those 400-meter relay, right? You're doing all the runnings, like the whole team just do the whole runnings, and you come to the last 100 mile and you pass everyone's been working the socks off, and the last, what do you call it? The stick goes to the last one that just runs in and gets the glory. This kind of baton analogy, right? Just going to go to Phil Jones again. Phil Jones has a comment. Phil Jones stole my name. It's Welsh Dragon, Phil. Face blue smiling. Yes, sir, Phil Jones. Thank you for your contribution. Surrender Singh. I will discuss it if Fridge lifts the trophy. Shameful. Sanusi. Yes. We're not sponsored by that brand, by the way. Rahul Chopra again says, thanks, Jay. I shall DM you. Good day, sir. Yes.
Thanks, Rahul. Big up.
Take it on the DM. Phil Jones again goes, it's not the real Phil Jones, but the reason why we are in final is because we have upgraded on the Chuckle Brothers and McFred. Love your comment, Phil. So yeah, that's for me. Honest, if I ask you a super chat back, what would that be? Let me think. What would it feel to? How would you feel if we lost this final? I mean, from a realistic, because that, it's Newton's law, it's gravity. There's a chance that we might lose on penalties, right? Because I see them parking the bus, and even Ten Hag came out and say they're pussies, right? Eddie Howe is his coaching style. They're going to park the bus, and they have carriers. Of course, carriers hopefully will let in some goals, but Sven Botman, Bruno Ganesh is good. Almiron hasn't really been on form, right? So I just kind of see them parking the bus a bit and just hitting on the brake. But we have a very solid defense. So what if we lose it on finals? What will be your reaction, mate?
Honest I've got no doubt. Yes, they'll park the bus. Yes, they will time waste. And Ten Hag said it pretty much in an interview regarding the time wasting. But that style of play has got them to fifth in the Premiership. It's got them to Cup final. So they're not going to change today. So if we lose today, it's not the end of the world. Okay, we still have the EFL Cup, still going for top four, and we're still on the road to possibly winning Europa League. So no, it's not the end of the world today. I'm not going to lose my shit if we lose. It's life. It's Cup final. It's it's, as I said at the start of the show, it's any given Sunday, anything can happen. And if Clarius initiates his Gigi Buffon settings, then that's a possibility. But listen, we'll find out in 2 hours' time.
Whoever's playing FIFA career mode, like get off Carius and don't put in the GG before mode, right? Please. No, you're right, mate. You're right. Because nobody expected us to be in a cup final in the first place. I mean, as a matter of fact, we are currently in 4 cup competitions at the moment. Barring that we win this one, we have 3 left to go for, realistically speaking. But, you know, the Patriot and me, the Patriot Red says on form, we should beat them. We have the mentality trained by Erik ten Hag. We have the comeback spirit. The only thing is that, you know, is there still that PTSD from the Europa League final where David De Gea was the 21st penalty shooter. And yeah, I hope it doesn't go down to that road. So, you know, I'm confident we will lift the trophy. I am.
Yeah. Prediction time, Mick. Predictions. Let's go.
Prediction. Based that you're my Simon's twin, almost there. We're wearing the same shirt. I didn't know you were wearing this shirt, but I said it yesterday. Like, you know, I think it will be a 3-1 United, right? Yeah, I think it will be a 3-1.
I'm going to go by virtue of the park and the bus and knowing what I've seen in Newcastle thus far this season. I'm going to go with us winning 1-0. I think a 1-0 right now
1-0
to win.
Pragmatic. A pragmatic 1-0. But cool. Okay, so that's kind of runs it up. You go 1-0, I go 3-1, and then we will see what will happen. But you know, initially I thought 2-0 United. Yeah, I stick to 3-1, Jay. I stick to 3-1. You know, the wheel's going to come off.
I hope you're right. I want you to be right.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to break the. We have weapons, right? We have Sancho, we have Garnacho coming in. If Daly somehow doesn't work, you can throw in, like, you know, Wan-Bissaka to protect that right-hand side. We have options. I feel confident. We have Sabitzer to come off the bench as well. So we do have options in terms of, like, and if we want to press them high, if we want to put in more threats, more shots on target, Sabitzer has a cannon. He's 2-footed. We know that Casemiro can also shoot. We've seen that Fred can shoot a lot, even if it's shin pads, but it still goes in. That's what we want to hear. The ball go in the net. We want to hear the shadazzle, badazzle. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the super chats. We have kickoff time in about what? 28 minutes, isn't it? Counting. Exactly. So, Jay, best of luck to you. Best of experience. We will not do the watch along because I hate doing watch alongs. I want to watch this game, but afterwards, guys, we know that tickets are very expensive and everyone wants to go to Wembly, but, you know, we will have the after party at Mufc Realist TV. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe this video. Come and see us after the whistle. Right? Jay and I will be here, and there'll be some other people jumping in and out as well. And we might even share the link so you can, you know, come in and have your say as well, like, you know, because at the end of the day, we Mufc Realist TV for the fan by the fans, you know, where every person can be somebody. Guys, like and subscribe, and we shall see you later, right? Jay, have a good experience. I'll see you later, mate.
Well, guys, thanks for the comments, guys. They're much appreciated. And we'll see you all in the after game show. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Let's go. Cheers, guys. See you later.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching Mufc Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.